Go. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to your favorite podcast, the Combat Sports Report Pod, with your boy Alan. This is your co-host Simkai right here. We're going to be breaking down PFL and a little bit of Cage Warriors for you guys today. Simkai, what do we got on the agenda? Let's go. Let's go. Swan dive right into it.
Yeah, man. I mean, folks, as you probably already know, there's no UFC this week, but next weekend we will be having the Kansas City card. Yeah, I know. Kansas City card, and me and Alan got a surprise for you about that, but you'll find out later. You got to keep watching though. So,
Nice.
yeah, but jumping into the PFL today, Alan, I mean, we got a main event that is pretty exciting for me. I mean, Impa Kasanganay, the former PFL light heavyweight tournament winner, is fighting Fabian Edwards, the former Bellator middleweight title challenger. I
That's
think
right.
it's going to be an exciting fight. Both guys have seen their highs and lows in the sport.
Mhm.
I think it's the perfect main event for this card.
Yeah, I like this main event. Fabian Edwards, as most people know, some might not. He is the brother of Leon Edwards, the welterweight contender in the UFC. So Edwards is really good. He's a top contender in PFL Tour. Um, his opponent Impa Kasanganay won the PFL tournament last year, I believe, right?
Yeah, and actually, Alan, you definitely remember this, but he was actually on the opposite end of a viral knockout by Joaquin Buckley, and this guy came back and won himself a world title. So
He was
this,
basically homeless before, and then he
yeah,
comes back, becomes champion, wins himself $1 million.
yeah, gets
Did he
close to
win?
winning $1 million again, also.
Yeah, he made it to what, the finals, right?
Yeah, and now he's back in the revamped PFL tournament. For those of you that don't know, we've kind of jumped into it a little bit before. This PFL tournament has no more points, something that me and Alan really have been advocating for. We do not like the point system.
Yeah, their point
And
system was garbage. I'm
yeah, it
glad
was
they got
absolutely
rid of
garbage.
it.
So now it's just win and go home. It's a basic tournament style. So this week we got the middleweights. That's actually a new division that they've introduced. So, and then we got the lightweights. And honestly, Alan, I'm kind of also excited about that co-main event as well. It's a lightweight match between uh, Abdul Manap Nurmagomedov student Gadzi Radzabanov, who won the lightweight world title in the tournament last year,
Right?
against Brent Primus, who's also on this card, and he's fighting former UFC fighter Mark Diakish.
Mark DeCasey.
Mark Diakiese, sorry, sir.
Nah, it's all good. DeCasey versus Rabazanov.
Radzabanov, yeah.
Rabazanov is a killer, bro. DeCasey is a great striker. His grappling is a little bit lacking, but if you have a Dagestani dude fighting a guy whose grappling is a little bit lacking, the prediction there is not too tough
Yeah, it's
to
honestly not.
right.
I
I
think
have
Gandhi,
Rabazanov by either decision or submission.
yeah, I also have that. And then, yeah, I mean, that's going to be an interesting co-main event. And then the feature fight of this card is also something that's very interesting to me. Former welterweight champion of the PFL, Sadabu C, who's done an impressive job, in my opinion. He's
Adi
faced,
Musi he's a monster. Sorry to cut you off.
no,
First
no,
off, he bounces back and forth between divisions like nobody else. He fought at
yeah, dude.
170, 185, and 205.
Yeah, he's crazy with that. And also,
Hmm.
Sadabu C, I mean, he trains at Extreme Couture. He's has crazy training partners. He's definitely a high level athlete. And the person that he's facing, who Allen actually has named the Paulo Costa outside of the UFC, is Dalton Rosta, who's 9-1 as a middleweight. So,
Dalton Rosta is a monster. He got heavy hands for days, and he also looks like a superhero, bro. He's jacked, shredded. Um, Paulo Costa of the PFL
but
for
Allen,
sure.
will he be able to weather the storm that is Sadabu C, who has the height and reach advantage?
pretty significant height and reach advantage at that. I don't know, dude. I don't know. Sadi Busi is very good. He's had some losses, but he's a very dynamic striker. He had a wheel kick knockout,
Oh my God, that was crazy.
which shows you exactly the level of striking he's at. So if I'm a betting man, which I am, I'm kind of a degen. I'm betting on Sadi Busi by decision. I think Dalton Ross is very tough, and I don't know if he gets finished, but I do
Yeah.
see that reach advantage being a
I
problem for
I
him.
could see Sadabu getting the decision win.
Yeah, yeah, I agree with that.
And
Sadi
then
Busi by decision is the pick.
yeah, no, definitely on that one. And also on this card, the next fight is another lightweight fight. I've actually enjoyed both of these fighters in the Bellator cage. We
Yeah,
got Mads Burnell, who's definitely made some waves in the PFL as well. And
former
he's
UFC
fighting,
fighter.
yeah, and he's a former UFC fighter, and he's fighting JJ Wilson, who's one of the greatest, well, one of the good prospects, lightweight prospects outside of the UFC. He's 10-1. He's been on a tear in Bellator. So
JJ
I,
Wilson is no joke.
yeah, JJ Wilson is no joke, but I'm kind of going with Mads Burnell on this one.
Yeah, Maz Burnell is a very good wrestler. I think his takedowns are solid. He's good at controlling people in the clinch. Um, JJ Wilson, correct me if I'm wrong, but he's more of a striker,
Yeah,
right?
he's more of a striker. Yeah, I think Mads
Big.
wins maybe by decision. I don't think he knocks him out or anything like that. Or
Yeah, I think this fight is going to go to a decision. If there is a finish, it's likely going to come from JJ Wilson because he's
yeah,
athletic, he's young, he's got a lot of power. And so I'm ooh, picking which one of these guys is going to win by decision
I think
is
Mads
kind of
Burnell by
tough.
decision. I
Mads
think JJ
Burnell,
Wilson, like
Mads
you
Bur
said, by finish.
yeah, yeah, I think so too, but Mads Burnell is a little bit older in his age now. He's getting up there.
I
And
think
I
he
think
still has some juice left in the tank, but I guess we'll
I
see.
agree, but JJ Wilson is a young, hungry gun. So
Yeah, I
this
guess.
one is definitely not a lock. This one is definitely not a certainty, but I'm also going Mads Burnell by decision.
Yeah. And then Alan, the first fight on the main card for this evening, I
This
actually
one's going to be spectacular.
yeah, I don't really know much about Alfie Davis, so you'll have to give insight on the to the fans on this one. But Clay Collard, man, I mean, none of us we all know who that guy is. Like he's a
Clay,
bang.
yeah.
He's always in bangers.
Clay Collard does not know how to have a boring fight. He is the Justin Gaethje of PFL. His hands, he used to be a pro boxer. This dude is a monster. He doesn't exactly have a ton of power in his hands, but the volume wins fights. Alfie Davis has a lot of really interesting, very cool striking techniques too. He likes to use not the wheel kick, the axe kick a lot, which is relatively rare in MMA. It's not a very commonly used kick, but if you can use it, it can be a very good weapon. And Alfie Davis utilizes it very well. If I'm picking a winner for this fight, which I am, obviously, this is a Combat Sports Report podcast. Obviously, we're picking winners. I'm picking Clay Collard by decision.
Same here, bro. I think Clay Collard, he has the experience in the PFL cage. He
Yeah.
knows that he has to get a win. I think he's going to be going. I don't know if he's going to be going for no, he might be going for the finish in there. So
I mean, everybody that steps in there is going for the finish, but will he get it done against
that's
Alfie
true.
Davis? I believe Alfie Davis has been finished before. I'm gonna say that Clay Collard, because he doesn't have that power, I'm gonna say he drowns him out with the volume. He gets Alfie Davis tired and he beats him that way. Alfie Davis is no slouch. He is a very formidable opponent. He's had a bunch of fights in Bellator. Very interesting fighter to look at. Um, I'm going with Clay Collard by decision.
Yeah, I definitely
Maybe by knockout. Maybe. The
maybe by
chance is
knockout,
there.
but you know who I definitely think gets a finish, and he will
Who?
be our prelim feature. I think we got Josh Silveira, the former LFA middleweight and LFA light heavyweight double champion, the second double
And
champion in LFA history,
son of Conan Silveira.
and son of Conan Silveira. and he's fighting Mike Shipman. I'm going to be completely honest here. I'm going to be straight to the point. I think Josh Silveira gets a finish. I mean, even with the point system, he would always get a finish, but I think he's going to be looking to make a statement. I can see him getting a first or second round TKO or sub.
I'm leaning towards sub. Josh Silveira, in my book, is a way better grappler than Mike Shipman. Mike Shipman has hands. He's a dangerous guy. I'm not certain that this one is a lock, but I am going with Josh Silveira by decision or submission. Leaning towards Josh Silveira by submission round one or two.
Okay. Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
with
but
that.
Mike Shipman is dangerous, bro. You cannot sleep on this guy. Shipman is a
Yeah,
beast.
you can't. He's a pretty good fighter in Bellator. He's made his mark on the promotion for sure. And Alan, this
Mhm.
next one though, we actually kind of butted heads a little bit about it. Not really because we're both kind of leaning towards the other, but Aaron Jeffrey versus Murad Ramazanov. I know you got Aaron.
Yeah,
I kind of
I
have
got. Yeah, no, I'll
I
go for it. Finish up.
I kind of
Sorry.
got Murad because from what I've seen, Murad, he's actually fought in one championship as well. He beat the former welterweight champion in one championship, Zadistin. Yeah, I forgot his last name, but sorry, sir.
So this thing, I know who you're talking about. Starts with a K.
Yeah, Zadistin K. He beat
Kendistam.
Kenistam. He beat the champion there. He came into the PFL. He got some good wins, and his only two losses were to the champion of last year, Shamil Musayev. So,
Samuel Musayev is no joke, but neither is Aaron Jeffrey. Aaron Jeffrey is a monster wrestler, and he's got hands. And not to mention, he's got a sick handlebar mustache, and he's got the what's it called?
mullet.
Hair on the back of the head. The mullet. Thank you. He's got the mullet, he's got the handlebar mustache, and he's about to handle Murad
You know
in
what I
the
also have to
grappling.
say, Alan, because we did mention this before. He actually knocked out Austin Vanderford, who just made his debut in the UFC. So that should
Knocked
tell
him
you
out.
what kind of fighter Aaron Jeffrey is.
Aaron Jeffrey's a monster. Do not sleep on this guy.
Yeah.
Everybody's sleeping on him because he's fighting in Dagestani, but his wrestling is also very, very good. I am this is by no means a lock. This is by no means anything I'm confident about, but I think Jeffrey edges it out by decision.
I think Murad, but I guess we'll see. You know what I always
Time will
say,
tell.
though. I'm not going to repeat it on here because you should know it by now. But
Now
yeah.
repeat it one time for the people.
Okay, repeat it one time. If me and Alan disagree on a fight, you know the fight's going to be good.
That's
So,
facts. If we
so
disagree, it's a banger.
yeah, it's a banger. So then our next fight, Alan, and I think this is a pretty clear lock for me. We got Brent Primus. Brent Primus is the former Bellator lightweight champion. He beat Michael Chandler by leg kicks. He lost the title next, but he's still a former champion. And he made it to the finals of last year's PFL Grand Prix against Gadzi Radzabanov. So he is not to be slept on. I know his opponent is a Brazilian, Vinicius Chenchi. Uh, he's got some finishes, but I'm going to be completely honest with you. I think Brent Primus probably outclasses him. He's been in the tougher fights before. He's got more fight experience. I think he just
Yeah.
walks all
I,
over this guy.
I don't know too much about Primus's opponent, but I can tell you this. Primus has very good grappling, and his striking is oftentimes overlooked. If you can leg kick TKO somebody like Michael Chandler, you are a good striker. And
Yeah,
now his striking is not the cleanest, it's not the most exciting, whatever. His grappling does compensates for that. He is a very solid, well-rounded fighter. He has a lot of experience also. So I would not sleep on Brett Primus.
yeah, no, definitely Brent Primus, I think, will be winning that fight. And then the first fight on this card, I don't know much about the opponent. Maybe you do. We got a Robert Watley and an Antonio Caruso.
I'm going to be totally honest with you here. I do not know either guy.
Yeah, me too. But Robert Watley is 15-3. Antonio Caruso is 9-2. Listen, folks, we don't know much about these fighters, but I think their records speak for themselves, and they are starting off the PFL card. So I would say that this should be a good fight to watch as well.
Sounds like a fun fight to pop off the card.
Okay, so that's it for the PFL card. But folks, that's not all for today because we do have to shout out something for tomorrow. We got Cage Warriors returning to Glasgow, Scotland. So our boys at Cage Warriors are making the return to Scotland, and it's a very packed card. In the main event, we got undefeated prospect Sean Clancy Jr., who's fighting a Brazilian. Sean Clancy Jr. actually beat Rafael Aronov recently. So
Crazy.
so he's a very good fighter. That's going to be a very interesting fight to see. Also, Stephen Bungard is on this card. He's a very accomplished veteran. But then there are two people on this card that I really want to shout out. We got we got Raz Brink. He is a bantamweight prospect. He is from Israel, like me and Alan. And he is a bantamweight veteran. I believe his record is 9-6. Uh, I'm excited to see him in the cage. I think it's going to be a fun fight. I don't know much about his opponent. I do know also that,
I do know one thing. Cage Warriors produces bangers.
yeah,
Banger after banger after banger. Very rare that you have a Cage Warriors fight that is not entertaining.
yeah,
I
that's
think
true.
they're one of the best promotions out there right now. Honestly. Like they are one of the best promotions. They're one of the best promotions to graduate from to get into the UFC. They watch UFC watches them very closely. That's where they get a lot of their prospects. And I'm very excited to see if any names fly off this list and get everybody's attention. Because
Yeah.
if they do, chances are they'll end up in the UFC relatively soon.
Unfortunately, I have just found out that the other Israeli fighter that was supposed to be on this card apparently had to pull out. I'm not sure why, but shout out to featherweight prospect Itai Tratner. I've seen him fight before in Italy. He's a amazing fighter, and I wish him a good recovery. So
Radner is a beast.
Tratner is a
It's a
beast.
shame. It's a shame that he's not on the card anymore.
Yeah,
But
shame that he's not
next
on the
time he fights,
card.
it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, no, but Cage Warriors is always fun. I mean, listen, I'll give them a quick shout out before we close off. But Cage Warriors, I feel like I've gone into it a little bit before. Cage Warriors is not some D level promotion that doesn't matter. It is a promotion that has produced very, very accomplished fighters that have gone on to do amazing things, such as
The
Michael
bridge to the
Bisping.
UFC.
Yes, especially in the UFC, such as Michael Bisping, Conor McGregor, Molly McMahon, Patty Pimblett, uh, Mason Jones. I really could go on. Nathaniel Wood,
Ilya Taporia.
Ilya Tapuria, Nathaniel Wood, Morgan Chartier, Jordan Vucenic. I mean, Alan
The
doesn't like.
list is long. The list, Christian Leroy Duncan. They have fighter after fighter after
Yeah,
fighter that
man.
keep ending up in the UFC, and that's not by accident.
Yeah,
Cage Warriors knows how to pick their roster,
Modestus
and they're
Bukauskas,
very good.
Modestus Bukauskas,
Modestus, yeah.
and also
Modestus
someone
is a
who's
former
probably going to
champion
be
there.
appearing on Contender soon, Will Curry. Will
Will
Curry.
Kerr. He appeared once, didn't make it to the UFC. He's going to appear again, and this time I have a very
Oh,
good
I think
feeling
he's
he's
going
going
to
to
make
make
it.
it.
And then we also got Eli Aronov, who appeared on Cage Warriors. He's a Cage Warriors fighter who actually fought on the Contender Series. I mean, there's just so many names that have come out of Cage Warriors and have made a great splash in the UFC. I mean, Jake Haley, he
Yeah.
also, yep, he
He got a
also,
Scottish twister in PFL not too long
yeah,
ago.
That was great.
Crazy submission. Crazy.
Also, I mean, Cage Warriors has some of the brightest prospects. I mean, right now we got Luke Riley. Luke Riley is one of the top contenders to probably get into the UFC right now. He's 11
Yeah,
and 0. So,
yeah. He's in the UFC very soon.
I almost
You know
forgot.
who else? Who? What?
Uh, Kavanaugh, Ian Kavanaugh,
Lawner Kavanaugh.
Honor Kavanaugh. Yeah,
I was just about to say Lawner Kavanaugh. They just signed him. Lawner Kavanaugh, Loner Kavanaugh is seeming like he's gonna go very far in the UFC. You also got Kalen Loughran. You also got, I don't know, Shauna Bannon, I'm pretty sure came over from Cage
yeah,
Warriors. You got all these European fighters who are starting in Cage Warriors. And if you want to see future UFC fighters before they're in the UFC, if you want to call yourself a fan of theirs before they make it big time, Cage Warriors is how you start
yeah.
that process.
Cage Warriors is the way to go. And also, they have some pretty good American talent as well. I'm going to give this guy a shout out, Anthony Orozco. He is a
Beast.
undefeated fighter from California. They have a good setup in California. Actually, one of their commentators in California, a regular, is Angela Hill. Angela Hill is a regular commentator for that show. So that should
Beast.
tell you everything you got to know about that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, also, you know who also fights in that promotion, Alan? Wilson
Oh,
Heiss. Wilson Reese.
well, Wilson Hayes is very good too.
Yeah, I mean,
Beast. Dude, they're stacked from top to bottom. They are the best promotion that is not the UFC in my eyes.
yeah,
Anytime I hear Cage Warriors, I know it's going to be a fun fight.
yeah. So, guys, that's tomorrow. Cage Warriors coming from Glasgow. Probably going
Yeah.
to be an earlier start time because it is in Europe. So I would say probably going to start around 1 p.m. and probably
Mhm.
finish off around 5. Uh, Not a lot of other combat things going on this weekend, Alan. I mean, have you heard of any?
Yeah.
Or
I don't know of anything else happening this weekend, to be honest with you. It's an abridged type weekend for Good Friday. People are taking off, I think. So, yeah, but we'll be back here um next week to talk to you guys about UFC Kansas City.
yeah, and
That one's
folks,
gonna be fun.
me and Alan might got a surprise for you for that one. So stay tuned and you'll hear about
Hell
it.
yeah. Hell yeah. Stay tuned. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Simkai, anything else you want to mention?
Nah, bro, I think that's it for this week.
But we're keeping it quick for you guys this week. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys so much. If you guys win on your bets, aka the bets that we're putting you onto, remember to Venmo or Zelle us 10%. We're not taking too much. 10% is fine.
If not
We'll
that, then you better give us a damn follow on Instagram and subscribe to us on YouTube. So,
Simkai's right. Simkai's right. Follow us for more correct bet picks, for more discussions about these fighters, about more news about UFC stuff, about up and coming prospects that you don't know about, that you want to know
boxing,
about.
anything combat sports, we talk about.
That's right. Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us this week. This has been the Combat Sports Report podcast with Alan and Michael Simkai, and we'll see you next week.
Deuces, folks.